You spent your whole life building a cathedral of sand, thinking you finally conquered the tide. You measured your worth in zeros and your power in the silence that followed your name. But look at your hands, Julian. What are you holding now? In one single afternoon, the empire didn't just fall. It stripped you naked. The world isn't looking at you anymore. It never was. If everything you own was taken by the wind tomorrow, who is the man that remains? Stay with me, because today we aren't learning how to build an empire. We are learning how to become the man who can survive the ashes. The fall of Julian wasn't a sudden crash. It was a slow, painful peeling of his soul. One by one, the layers of his identity were torn away. The bespoke suits, the mahogany desk, the keys to the penthouse, gone. Julian walked through the cold streets of Manhattan, feeling the weight of 1,000 eyes judging him. But then, a realization hit him harder than the bankruptcy. The world wasn't looking at him at all. To the city, he was just another ghost in a coat. This is the first gate of the Stoic, realizing that the things you lost were never yours to begin with. You were only holding them for a moment. Julian retreated to a small, isolated cabin in the northern woods. Far from the neon hum of the city, there were no assistants to command, no lawyers to hide behind, only the wood that needed chopping and the fire that needed tending. His hands, once used to signing multi-million-dollar contracts, were now blistered and raw. He expected to find misery in this silence. Instead, he found clarity. Nature does not care for your bank account. The frost bites the billionaire and the beggar with the same teeth. He began to see that his suffering didn't come from his poverty. It came from the ghost of his former life that he refused to let go. As the snow melted, Julian began to build a new empire. Not one made of steel and glass, but of thought and discipline. He realized that the only territory he ever truly owned was the 6 inches between his ears. He sat by a frozen stream, watching the ice break. He whispered the words of the ancients to the wind. Wealth is not having many possessions, but having few wants. He stopped asking why the world took his money. Instead, he started asking why he had ever let his money own his heart. He was learning the ultimate secret, that true power is the ability to remain unshaken, even when the world around you is screaming. A year later, Julian returned to the city. He didn't come back for his crown, he came back for his peace. He worked a simple job, lived in a small apartment, and for the first time in 50 years, he was truly free. He walked past his old office building, a glass titan that used to bear his name. A young executive, stressed and red-faced, bumped into him and yelled. Julian simply nodded, offered a calm smile, and continued his walk. Fortune had taken his house, his health, and his reputation, but it could not take his character. He was no longer the emperor of finance, he was the master of himself. The lesson of the ashes is simple. Your value is not defined by what you have gathered, but by what you can endure. We spend our lives running from the fire, not realizing that the fire is what purifies us. If you lose everything tomorrow, who is the man that remains? Build that man, because everything else is just borrowed from the wind. Amor Fati.